Good evening. My name is Mrs. Early, and I will be your student's teacher for Civil Engineering and Architecture this school year. I have embedded myself in this video because more important than looking at me make weird faces throughout the video, because I do, I'm awkward that way, makes me entertaining, is I wanted to share with you our Canvas homepage and how to work the Canvas pages and all that fun stuff. But first, I want to draw your attention up here to the top of the homepage. That's where I'm going to have the two most recent announcements on the Canvas page. So I am making this video Wednesday night before you receive it. So the only announcement I have right now is to sign up for dual credit now. And there are instructions sharing with students the way that they can sign up to get their dual credit free from Ivy Tech. And they need to have that done by September 11th. That is a statewide requirement. There are no extensions. There's no coming up to me in October and asking, because I have no power over that. In the announcement, I have some hyperlinks to some videos that show students how to make an account or how to apply for the correct class, and I have the class number listed there. And I also have an email link for somebody directly at Ivy Tech if they have an Ivy Tech specific question. Um, if they don't know their C numbers, but they know they have them, I might be able to look them up for them. But they will need to come and see me in person in order to make sure that they've applied to Ivy Tech and they have all that stuff in good standing. They will need to have their social security number. If they don't have a social security number, then there is a paper form that they can print out, and I'm sure that is covered in the video. Um, and that way they can still fill that out, and I can get that to Mr. Seaver, who can then pass it on to the people who are in charge of this. So September 11th, important announcement. So for civil engineering architecture on my homepage, I'm going to switch it to the student view to see, because I have some extra stuff over here on the right side that they wouldn't have. This is very similar to what your students would see. On the right-hand side, there is a to-do list of things that they need to do. And there's an explanation, and they have some quick hyperlinks to their modules. I post a new module every day, or right now we're in the middle of a big project, so I just did a week-long module because it would say the same thing every day. So they would click on the modules, and it will jump them to what they're doing. And the most recent one will be on the top, and it will work backwards. In the modules, you'll have an agenda telling the students what they're expected to do that day, and then it will have an assignment. Okay, and with the assignment, it has all the details, but also there's a resources tab. In the resources tab, it has any additional information they need. If there's a PowerPoint, if there's a video they need to watch, it's in that resources tab. But in order to submit assignments on Canvas, they need to be in the assignment tab of that. They will have access to all of the files that they're going to need. The students are going to need to sign up for Autodesk Revit, and that was in their first learning module. Good job, Mrs. Early. I told you I'm fascinatingly awkward. Um, Down here at the beginning for this, for our units, I have our August 8th, 2023 CEA Introduction and CEA Materials and Software. The sooner the students get this on their computers at home, the better off they will be. They will want to download the 2020 Revit architecture. Don't let them go any newer or any older. It needs to be the 2020, because that's what we have on the classroom computers. This software is not backward compatible, so if they're working on a newer version at home, anything that they do at home will not open up on the classroom computers. If they have an older version at home, anything we do on the school computers will not open up at home. And I've already talked to them about that, but I have a link to the website, and it tells them how to do that. Um, but I just wanted you to be aware of that software needing to be on a good computer. I'm not sure if it's Chromebook friendly. Chromebooks are definitely iffy for some of this bigger software that we do utilize. Also, class resources, PowerPoint presentations, videos, they're all in there. And then the grading policy. That's kind of a short version of this syllabus that I have embedded on my home screen as well. It has my email address, it has the prereqs, it covers the units that we're going to go over, and it has my grading policy. The grading policy is pretty much the same throughout the entire department. 30% of their grade is going to be formative assessments, so homework, classwork, anything that they're doing as they're forming the concepts in their mind. And then 70% is going to be the summative, the final product, the final thing. Um, and then, so projects, quizzes, tests, portfolios. We have a portfolio each semester for civil engineering architecture. And they're going to be getting feedback on all the things that they put in there throughout the entirety of the semester. So by the time it goes in their portfolio, it should be good to go. It should be aces. So with that, we're going to move on towards some of the revisions and retake policies in our department as well. It's not just a department, it's kind of a school-wide thing, but we got to be specific about how the students are going to do this. But students who have an A minus or an A on a summative assessment, they don't qualify to reassess. They've already mastered the skill. So if they've gotten lower than an A minus, then students will have to come and talk to me and initiate a conversation on how they're going to relearn some of this material so that when I finally do allow them to reassess, they will be prepared. And also with extended assessments, such as those portfolios I discussed, those are not an option for reassessment because they've been getting feedback throughout the entirety of the project. With the late work policy, the students have till the end of the unit in order to turn in their missing assignments. That information will be posted on Canvas probably through an announcement, and I will also have it on the blackboard in my classroom when it's the last day I'll accept certain assignments. Please look at the academic dishonesty section of the student handbook. It is very important. We are very, very strict about academic dishonesty, and we want to make sure that students are aware of the consequences. We'd rather them be honest and come and ask for help or an extension beforehand than make a bad decision that they're going to regret. Excuse me. Also on my syllabus, there are expectations for the students, and of course, there are expectations for you. I know they are young adults, but they are still teenagers. So check their grades once a week or every 2 weeks. Just check in on them. I know that we all want to make sure that they're all responsible and they can keep after themselves, but by golly, once in a while they'll surprise us and they'll need us to say, hey, what's going on here? And with that in mind, you need to talk to your student first about why they have the grade that they do. Trust me, they know why they have it. They won't, if they say, I don't know, then they're not answering you correctly because they know what is affecting them and why they are earning certain grades. Also become a Canvas observer. See what is being assigned and when it's due. It shows up. And then if you have any questions or comments or concerns, please email me. And if you want a voice-to-voice, email me first with a phone number, and then I will get back to you at the next available opportunity. But I don't answer the phone when I have students in the class because that is my very limited amount of time I get with your kids each day. So I want to make sure that I have that time dedicated to them. To wrap this up, I just want to show you a couple of quick projects that we do. Civil engineering architecture, Project Lead the Way. We start off by building models. I'm sure you've seen your students making things out of Kleenex boxes and stuff, but then we look at the different styles of architecture and we build models. We do a lot of different assignments. We can work individually or collaborate in small groups. I even have a group that worked as an entire class on a project. We have some experiments throughout the school year, and the students will be working in a kind of a make-believe situation, a design charrette. And they'll be given a design problem, and they have to come up with a solution to present to the class. for how they would solve that particular problem. The first semester, we focus on building residentials. So we are going to be creating a Habitat for Humanity home for a specified plot in Noblesville, Indiana. And then second semester, our scenario is we spend the entire semester repurposing an old warehouse and turning it into a library. And also very fun that plot of land that have decided for that project is located up in Noblesville, in the exact same spot that the Noblesville library is. So that's kind of fun. So please excuse that last slide. That is for a totally different class. So again, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email. I look forward to working with your students again this year, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.